Hello everybody, we are back with another visual pattern challenge. So here is step 1 in the pattern, here is step 2, here is step 3, and your challenge is to figure out how many squares in step 4. And then if you can do that, much more difficult, how many in step 43? And can you write an equation that could be used to predict the number of squares in any step at all? So if you'd like to accept that challenge, pause the video, give it a shot. All right, well, I think the first thing I want to do with this pattern is just get a visual sense of what's actually going on. And one of the methods I use to do that is just try to find step 1 in step 2. And I think that's pretty easy. We've got this sort of bridge figure here. So this is step 1. And then we've added these 4 kind of in an upside down L. So those are the added ones. And then I think I can find this pretty easily. It looks like an M, so it's this chunk right here. Aha, and it looks like, again, I have added 4 in that upside down L pattern. So if I wanted to predict what would happen next, what would happen in step 4, I think I could just draw some more squares here. 4 more squares in an upside down L pattern like that, and add these 4. So in step 4, that would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Looks like 19 in step 4, so that's my prediction. I'm going to write that down here. All right. Now, to predict how many in step 43 is a little trickier. I mean, you could keep drawing out adding 4 and keep track of the step that you're on, but that would be really time consuming and tedious. So we're going to try to make an equation and use that to predict the number in step 43. When we make an equation, I think it's good, first of all, just to make sure we've analyzed the pattern correctly by the numbers. So I'm going to make a chart here with step number and then the number of squares. And we'll look at these numbers carefully. So in the very first one, we've got 4 and 3 across the top is 7. So there's, in step 1, there's 7 squares. In step 2, we've just added those 4 more, so that's 11. In step 3, we've added 4 more, so that's 15. And in step 4, we're predicting 19. And once you've got the numbers of squares laid out by step, what we like to do is take the difference. So 11 minus 7, 4. And then the next step, 15 minus 11, 4 again. And the next step, 19 minus 15, 4 again. And if you're getting the same difference between each step, and you should, because we determine we're just adding 4 each step, so it should be no surprise that each step differs by 4. When you get the same difference in every step, it is a linear pattern. And you can go ahead and use the equation for a line to make a model for it, which is really handy because this is a nice simple equation. The m here, which usually stands for slope in a line, is going to be our rate of change, how much it goes up each step. And that is 4, we've determined. So y equals 4 times x, and x is going to be the step number. Y is going to give us the total number of squares. And then this plus b, we haven't figured that out yet. It's some adjusting number. And the way I like to approach this is just take this equation we've got so far, the stem of the equation here, and try it in step 1. So we'll plug in 1 for x. So y equals 4 times 1. If that was the equation, if this is all it was, then the number of squares in step 1 that this equation predicts would be 4, but we've got 7. So it looks like we need to add 3 more to make that come out. So if I'm adding 3 here, I want to add 3 to my equation. So our b is 3 in this case. Now let's just take this and double check. Let's see if it works for step 2 and 3. To get step 2, I would plug in 2 for x, 2 for the step number. So y equals 4 times 2 plus 3. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 3 is 11. Yeah, that's how many there are in step 2. How about step 3? Y equals 4 times 3 plus 3, and 4 times 3 is 12 plus 3 is 15. That is how many there are in step 3. So I think this equation we can be pretty confident of. So we'll write it down here. So y equals 4x plus 3. Now that we've got that, we can use that to calculate how many in step 43 by just plugging in 43 for x. So y equals 4 times 43 plus 3. let's see, 4 times 43. Well, 4 times 40 is 160. 4 times 3 is 12, so that's 172. Plus 3 more, it should be 175 squares in step 43. Well, how did that go? Did you get the same answer? Let me know. Thanks, everybody.